Vaught was making superhumans to have their own army.
Right.
That was Vaught's whole purpose.
I don't know if it was the purpose from the very beginning, but
well, we know they were Nazis from the beginning.
Well, yeah, the very beginning.
Yeah,
The
very beginning was to eliminate.
That's the thing.
Welcome back to the Break Room. It's enrollment day at Godolphin University. That's right, we are talking about the first 3 episodes of Gen V, a spin-off of The Boys. I'm Brandon Barrick, and joining me today are 2 of my favorite soups. At the end of the table, we got Jay Washington.
Hi, resident supervillain here. Let's just get it for what it is.
Oh, you know he's a supervillain.
Supervillain, not the hero part. Supervillain. I worked on these forearms, so that's how you know. You see that? You see that muscle right there? There you go.
That's supervillain muscle right there. I've worked on one of my forearm muscles too.
That is not what we were talking about. Let's move this show on. Who else is on the show, Brandon?
Also on the show today, we got Gina Ippolito.
Hi, I'm an enigma. I could go either way.
Oh.
I'm evil, I'm good, who knows?
Is there anyone in the Boys universe that's pure good? I don't
Starlight.
know. I guess.
Technically, because only reason, what did she really do bad? When you really think about Starlight, what did she really do bad?
She puts up with Huey's bullshit for too long, frankly.
Oh, that's a regular relationship. That's a relationship.
I watch shows to escape my regular relationship. I'm just kidding. Please don't tell my wife I said that. And of course, congratulations to the WGA and getting through their strike. But SAG is still on strike right now. It's still going on. None of this is being done in promotion of the properties or otherwise. Bezos kept his bucks because we ain't taking them. We are also not being paid by Amazon or any other studios to do this. This is purely our review of the show, and we are going to be brutally honest about this show because this show is brutally honest. Hey, also, we might not cover the whole season, so screw you. Or at least we might not do it weekly. Who knows? But if you want us to cover it, and boy, do I want to cover this show every week, let us know in the comments. Make your voices heard. Stand up. Shout to the rooftops. Melt the eye holes of someone next to you. And let us know that you want us to keep covering the show. Because I think it's great, and I'm so happy that there's more Boys content on the air.
Yeah, me too. Also, you're now an accessory to all the murders.
Yeah, you're
that take
officially.
place after everyone follows your instructions.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that's gonna
That's
be.
fair.
It's gonna happen.
That's fair. That's the First Amendment. I'm allowed to say whatever I want.
Okay, so Brandon, let's do a recap of the first 3 episodes.
Okay, so we're gonna do a quick recap. We know you watched the show, but there's a lot in those 3 episodes. So let's just see where we got after this trio of an intro. Okay, the first 3 episodes introduced us to our main character, Marie Moreau, who, after accidentally killing her parents with her blood-wielding powers in a very coming-of-age moment.
Yeah, I would say, can you really? Let's be descriptive exactly what the hell happened.
Look, who among us has not gotten a period and then murdered someone?
Both. I'll take both.
I don't believe it.
I'll take both. So she kills her parents in a pretty wicked moment, but she's given a chance to attend the prestigious Godolphin University, a safe space for you to thrive. She meets her roommate Emma, who can shrink, and some popular upperclassmen kids who are all ranked in the very important top 10 at this school. We've got Luke, also known as Golden Boy. He's a Human Torch. If Human Torch also burned all of his clothes off, which he would do, but they write it away so easily in the comics, but they make it a hard thing to do here. He's ranked number 1 and is being fast-tracked into the 7. He's getting right on. He's getting put
His
right on
name
the
is
7.
Golden Boy. What did you expect? You were
Yeah,
like,
they've already
go.
I mean, Marie had a poster of him at the Red River Institute. Like,
Yes.
he's already a well-known.
He's a star.
It's weird that like college kids have posters of themselves.
I
but
mean,
that's the university
football,
we're in.
college football,
That's
college
true.
basketball.
Yeah.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
All right.
He's got a name and likeness deal right now, so he's doing all right.
He's killing it.
We also meet Kate Dunlop, a pusher who can persuade people to do things just by touch and commanding them. Push it real good. Andre Anderson, who can manipulate metal just like his super father Polarity, and he clearly has some daddy issues. We meet Jordan Lee, who has an interesting power set. We'll get into that a little bit, but they can swap between a male and female persona, and each persona has different powers. The male figure is invulnerable. We see he's impervious to bullets.
Yeah.
The female figure can project some sort of like force energy.
Yeah.
She uses it to fight Golden Boy and also push Marie out of the way.
I'll give a comparison real quick. it's in a whole other universe. In DC and Doom Patrol, Crazy Jane is like that. And she has 67 personalities, and every personality literally has a different ability.
Interesting.
Sounds
So-
exhausting.
She sounds like someone I dated once.
And one of the personalities' ability was putting up with Brandon. All right.
Oh boy. It also kind of reminds me of like the Wonder Twins.
Yes.
Who have different power sets, but
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
two
yeah.
separate people,
Yeah.
so that's a little different.
That was like even TNT we met in season 3.
Oh, that's right.
You know,
oh yeah, they work together.
They
all
worked
the
together to
time.
make the dynamite.
Cute. These popular upperclassmen invite Marie for a night out on the town, and it almost goes wrong after Andre nearly kills someone in an accident at a bar, where he turns a coin into a beautiful
coin.
hummingbird and then slices a woman's throat open.
Yeah, I would say it definitely goes wrong.
It
doesn't
definitely goes
almost
wrong.
go
Because it was so
wrong.
cute. He was like, if I nail this,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go home with me.
Yeah.
It's a good move. It was
It
a good
is,
move.
yeah.
Until the drunk dude went, he like, oh shit.
That's why you don't
People
mess up.
get bumped all the time.
Yeah.
He should have known better.
Should have known better.
I'd have made it go higher first. Like, bitch, look up
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ceiling.
yeah.
Or don't make it so sharp. Marie uses her blood-bending abilities to save the day, and it seemed like she was surprised when she did this.
Oh yeah,
Like
because
she'd
she's
never
like
done
she's
it before.
rolling on drugs, and
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
just like, let me just see.
What if I
can
could put the blood back?
That's what it was. She
Yeah.
she's so used to blood being out and doing
Right.
things. She didn't know she could put it back in. And she
Well,
was like,
and we
oh.
saw from her blossoming, if you will, she can make the
Not
blood
gross
into.
at all when you say that.
Not at all.
She can make the blood into like a sharp object.
Yeah. It seems like that's the default.
And so she kind of like made a little seal with the blood, pushed blood back in, and kind of
Yeah.
sealed it off a little bit.
Yeah.
Here's the terrifying part, ladies and gentlemen. There are Comic-Cons coming up and Halloween.
Uh-oh.
The amount of Marie Moreau
gonna see some blood
cosplays
ropes?
that are going to be so disgusting because you know people are sick in the head.
Yeah.
There's not going to be the blood from the hands or anything.
yeah.
It's going to be everywhere else.
no.
Like,
Oh,
No. Here's the thing. That's not sick. That's creative. What you do is you take a roll of red yarn, stuff it up your cooch,
Oh,
and then have
jeez
one little
Louise.
like
A
string
string just-
sticking out and like attached to your finger. This is what Years of Sketch Comedy does. I have to do these. And so that every time you move your finger, you see like a string
No,
of
absolutely
of-
not.
they're not just
Absolutely
saying
not.
disgusting.
Also, we're going to talk about Marie's powers because we were having a heated argument before the show started about her slicing her palms to get access to blood. Doesn't make sense.
Well,
We'll get back to it.
Unless, real quick, unless she's a cutter. And that's her thing.
That's her spot.
That's not where you cut when you're a cutter.
But maybe for her, it is.
Maybe she wants to be Jesus.
I said we're going to save this conversation.
I didn't know we was going to Jesus.
We're always going to Jesus.
Was Jesus the first Supe? Did he have Compound V? I don't know. Professor Brink, who heads the crime fighting school, he wants to protect these top candidates who are in the top 10. So he's gonna kick Marie out of school, gonna have her take the blame for the incident. But before this decision is made final, Marie finds Golden Boy giving Brink a good old hug and then melting him down,
Yeah.
just totally destroying him.
Just murder dude.
Because he's Golden Boy has been having these visions of his supposedly deceased brother Sam, who turns out is not dead.
And it was all that you give it to me. I'm sorry, Mariah Carey just popped in my
That's
head.
all right. You got to let it go. Golden Boy chases after Marie when she witnesses this, but Jordan fend him off in like a very cool fight scene. Yet he persists and chases her out front on the campus and eventually decides to kill himself, covering onlookers with blood. I mean, what a first episode. They kill off two of their main characters.
Yeah.
that I don't think any of us expected to die in the first episode.
I didn't expect Golden Boy
Clancy
to go.
Brown's one of the
No,
biggest
I
names
did
on the
not.
show.
Yeah, Clancy Brown. When I saw him, I was like, he's having a hell of a year. Good
John
for
Wick
him.
4.
And then
Yeah.
Boom. Oh, Ahsoka. He's
Ahsoka,
Ahsoka.
yeah.
Having a hell of a year. Got killed.
Hell of a year.
That's probably why he had to hurry and go do a soak. He was like, you gotta get rid of me.
Yeah,
getting rid of
he's
him.
like, I need to sleep. I just need 2 days worth of filming, and then I gotta go.
Get this out the way. Get all my scenes. Burn me to death real quick, okay? You don't need me there to burn me, do you? Do you? No. Good.
So Marie is lauded as the guardian of Godolkin. A little sloppy title. We'll work on it. While Jordan is looked over, even though they were part of stopping Golden Boy. And Andre follows a cryptic trail, leading him to find Luke's brother Sam still alive in a facility under the school known as the Woods.
Into the woods we go.
And don't stay out of the woods. Stay out of the woods. While this happens, the secret of Emma's power is revealed. She purges to get small. While being ridiculed by the school, Andre reaches out and asks her to help find Sam because she's the only one that can sneak into this little secret woods facility. She takes a tracking tag with her. She goes into the woods and finds Sam, who at first does not believe she's real.
Love
Why
this
would
scene.
you?
Love
Great
this
scene.
scene.
You put a little laugh in the couple's like, nope, don't you?
I love this scene.
A great
so
scene.
much.
The two bond and seem to have a romantic connection just when Emma needs it most. My poor girl Emma is done dirty
Yeah.
on this show. But soon the guards come. An electric floor shocks Sam, and Emma jumps to his defense, killing the guard in a moment that made me scream out loud. Scream out loud.
It was in the most boys' way fashion.
So
She-
boys.
Again, we're talking spoilers.
Yeah.
The fact she just walked, because it's certain
The
things you like.
sound of it.
You
Oh.
heard it, her go in his ear, and him just like, and
Yeah,
you're like,
you see the
Yeah.
camera pass over his face, and I love it because just like a couple scenes before, she was like, "What the hell can I do?" Like,
Right,
there's two tracks at this college:
Yep.
there's the acting track and the superheroing track. Most go to the acting track, and she's like, "Well, I can't do any superheroing," and then she crawls through
Yeah.
a dude's head.
and when she realized, she's like, that was the most disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the episode ends leaving us with a stranded, blood-covered Emma, and the other characters worried for her return. She's like sitting in the ear in a pool of blood, which is like
Yeah.
so cool, but so messed up.
I have a quick thought, real quick, to go back.
Yeah.
With Godolkin, don't you think it's kind of strange how the video is constantly pushing, we're all about inclusion.
Right, yeah,
We're all
yeah.
about, the video is weird in itself.
Oh yeah, but that's everything that Vaught does.
That's everything that Vaught does.
Yeah.
They're always pushing a narrative.
Yeah.
But like really, they're wink,
Right.
nodding to their mostly white supremacist.
Yeah, because this series
audience.
even begins with a flashback to 8 years ago. A-Train joining the Seven as the first black man to join the Seven, and Stillwell like saying a nice cameo from Stillwell,
Yes.
Elizabeth Shue coming back saying racism is over because
Yeah,
we put
we solved
a
it.
black man
We
in the
did it.
Seven.
Yeah.
They did not solve it.
They
in
did
case you
not
didn't know.
solve it.
In case you didn't know. So there was lots of other stuff that happened in this show. That was a quick overview of the 3 episodes. So we want to get into some of these other topics and stuff. So let's go through all of it. The first thing I want to talk about is the violence, which I love. That's one thing I love about The
yeah.
Boys.
Gimme.
It's what I love about Gen V. It's a show that takes risks. It's not afraid to kill characters.
Yeah.
It's not too precious with them. Does this series feel a little more brutal because they're younger? They're not kids.
No.
Evan wrote kids in the script, but these are not children.
No.
They can vote and they can die.
I want
okay?
to see kids fight. I want to see kids
Yeah.
fighting.
I was shocked by Emma's move because everyone else seems to have done some form of violence before.
Yeah.
She's a social media star.
Right.
You gotta remember that. That's
and she went from 0 to 100 pretty quick.
real quick.
Yeah. I mean, she's been fighting rats. I mean, finding her so tiny.
Yeah.
It's saying I've been fighting off ants, which is so
Yes.
scary
Yeah.
and like crazy. But
yeah.
for her to make that choice, like I'm gonna run through this dude's head and just kill
She
him.
just did it. She didn't
Yeah.
even think about it.
No.
And I mean, there's a lot of pushback on a brain. I don't know if anyone here has
I've
ever
never
crawled
ran through a brain before.
But there's a lot of pushback, I would
I
assume.
don't think you've ever crawled through a brain. It was never in. It wasn't in the dossier for today.
Like, I want to know, is she like using nails?
Yeah,
Is
she, like-
Well, you gotta remember the brain
how's
is soft.
It's not that soft, especially when
She's
you're that
tiny.
small.
Well, she did the jump she made was like almost a super jump, right?
Yeah.
That was like an Ant-Man style, like jumping further than a normal human can jump.
Yeah.
Which is something I would love to talk about too. Is like, is there like a base level of
I think so.
superhero
That's what I was just-
to everyone who has
That's what I was just about to bring up.
Yeah.
Everybody has this base level no matter what.
Yeah.
Like there's either a level of strength
Mm-hmm.
or some level of invulnerability.
Yeah, and also, it's established on the show that Supes have better hearing
Yes.
than everyone.
Yes.
They can hear it at different frequencies. So yeah, I think there's a base level of like a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, can heal faster, and then like you get an extra layer on top of that. Like Starlight is super, super strong,
Mm-hmm. Right.
super fast, but her main power is pop,
Right.
pop, light in your face, light in your eyes.
Well, and that might explain Marie too, who's cutting again the palm of her hand, which
She
makes no
heals.
sense. She's might be healing
Makes perfect
faster.
sense.
Because you
Makes
notice you
perfect
never
sense.
see a scar.
Right.
No, you do see scars.
Oh, you do? I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah.
I had to look
If
again.
you look
It's like her
carefully,
lifeline.
You can see some healed scars.
But she's probably healing faster than a normal
Yeah,
human.
I think she
Yeah.
is healing. She's like Buffy. Like she
Right.
heals a little bit fast. Like I think if there are some Supes that are like super, super strong. Like clearly, Golden Boy. We see him rip a dude's arms
Sure,
off.
his powers.
Which, by the way, he congratulated. He was like, "Good job, man."
Yeah.
I'm gonna put these
And
back
that
together."
guy was so proud of himself.
Right,
Like,
right.
He's like, "Thanks, you guys. Like,
They
thanks.
did it.
Oh, my arms are back. Good."
Yeah, thank goodness that still works. Yeah, and it also kind of explains Jordan, right? Who the male persona appears to be a lot stronger. That's why during the fight and before he gets shot, they're always switching to the male side to take a hit.
Yeah.
But even when the female one gets slammed by Golden Boy into the ground and the ground cracks, it kind of shows that they're stronger than a base human, right? It's not like an Asgardian.
It hurts
all
them,
Asgardians are strong.
Yeah, exactly.
But some of them are stronger.
They're the only ones that can hurt each other.
Right.
Yeah. Like if an average person punched a Supe, it wouldn't do much.
No.
But,
Yeah.
So yeah, I do think that Emma. I mean, we don't really see it, but I think she's got a little bit stronger. I think strong enough to claw through a brain.
And maybe like you just said, the Ant-Man with the relative height to strength. And she probably doesn't realize it until that moment.
The adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah,
and she's like, I can do this.
I can do this. And so I think, to go back to the original question, it's the boys. It's the series. We know the series is violent, right? And like out the gate, it reminds you, with Marie's coming of age, with everything, it reminds you this is what this series is. So let's not act like this is gonna be something different.
Right.
It's out the gate. And you get these extravagant, elaborate deaths and shit that happens throughout these 3 episodes. And that's just 3 episodes. So I don't think you can say, oh, just because it's the kids, young adults, whatever, it's what the show is.
Yeah, I think it's equal levels of violent, but it's less dark in my opinion. And like not to say that like teen issues aren't, heavy or whatever, but it's not like the same level of darkness.
Time out. Aren't you a teenager?
I'm Gen Z.
Is that how they talk?
Give me some Gen Z.
If you're Gen Z, call in.
Call
Let
in.
us hear your voice.
But also, but I just think also because it's the reason it's not as dark. They go through real shit you see in college.
Yeah.
Emma is horny.
Yeah.
She tells you she's trying to just the whole time.
I mean, her reference is for David Caruso is Jade,
Yeah,
a 1995
love it.
sexual thriller.
Yes.
I love
Very
it.
erotic.
She does seem a little obsessed with the 90s. She's got the David Caruso reference. She's got a few little 90s references.
And everyone appears to be pretty sexually fluid in a lot of ways. Obviously, Jordan Lee is.
Yeah.
They can switch at a moment's notice. But even Andre and Luke, Golden Boy, they say I love you a lot, which I love. More men should say I love you to each other and not feel weird about it.
I've never heard you say it to a single man in the office.
Because I refuse to. I don't love a single man in this office.
Don't you look for me,
But my concern right from the drop of this series.
No. I'm not telling him.
You don't have to love me, Jay. You just have to like me.
I'm just here for you all.
My concern was that there was going to be this like overdone plot point of Luke hiding his sexuality from his girlfriend and was like secretly in love with Andre. But instead, it just seems like people have like open.
They're just good friends and
Yes,
bros.
and they have these unique experiences. Something gets brought up on the show, right? Like all these kids have found out very recently that their parents drugged them.
Yeah.
And they were not chosen by God to be superhero people. And especially like Andre, whose father is making him in his image, right?
Yes.
Trying to make another Polarity. And even when he gave his son Compound V, he gets the same powers as him. He's like, you're just like me. He's like, I don't want to be you, Dad. I don't want to be you, Dad. I don't want your laugh.
That's an interesting thing about this show is because these are the youngest Supes we've seen.
Right.
Some of them have parents who were superpowered, which is not the case in the boys. Like, I mean, there is a reveal about like who Homelander's parent is, but these are actually like kids who were raised by a superpowered parent. Like Andre was raised by Polarity. Emma's mom clearly has some sort of power.
You think she has powers?
I think she has powers. She was on the Vaught home shopping
network.
And everyone on Vaught, everyone who's she clearly went through the Crimson Countess School of Theater.
Maybe. I mean, the guy who runs
Definitely.
What about the blonde woman? I forget. Haley.
The interviewer.
She's like a regular interviewer
just a
in the
reporter.
wild.
I don't know. Well, we'll see if Emma's mom.
No, she's
I don't think she has
on the
powers.
Vaught home shopping network. If she doesn't
I think her
have
power.
powers.
I think her power is traumatizing her daughter.
No,
I think that is
that's
definitely
a good
it.
power, though. I'd take it.
I think with Polarity, though, I think he knew Andre would have abilities because he has them naturally. He just wanted to speed it up with Compound V.
Oh, so you do think he dosed him with Compound?
Yeah, I think he dosed him in.
Oh yeah, I don't think the only natural born Supe
is Andre.
I think Andre was dosed.
You think Andre was dosed even though his father's Polarity?
Yes, because usually, I think the only natural-born Supe that's ever been revealed in the universe is Homelander's kid.
But that establishes that you can pass it along the bloodline. You can pass it on in genes. So why wouldn't Polarity also have...
I don't think it's worked before. I don't think it's ever happened before. That's why they're still giving babies.
They probably thought Homelander was sterile too. They probably thought Homelander was like the dinosaurs on Jurassic Park. Was like he can reproduce.
Also, like Homelander was made in a lab.
Yes, he is.
So he's different than all the other.
Homelander is a test tube baby. Why nobody ever called him a test tube baby? Oh, test tube baby.
Laser your eyes out. Yeah. Well, and then season 1, you have Butcher going to the facility where all the babies are being given, and they have powers.
Yeah.
And I think, and we'll get into what the Woods is, like maybe that's what they're doing. They're trying to find a new way to make these heroes. I don't think Andre was naturally born with powers. I think his dad gave him V.
Okay.
And it manifested in the same way.
He just told him, like, oh, I passed it along. You got it because I have it. Okay.
Right.
Maybe.
Because I think it would be a bigger deal if they were like, yes, we gave everyone Compound V, but look, this one we never gave Compound V.
What if Golden Boy is another Soldier Boy kid?
Okay.
Because we don't really hear.
They malign they show his parents on a news broadcast.
And then look at who Sam is, his brother.
Right.
His brother is super strong. Soldier Boy was super strong.
Right.
And like Soldier Boy, even though the Russians made him radioactive, right? Because I don't think he was radioactive beforehand.
Correct.
Yeah, he wasn't radioactive beforehand.
Yeah.
All the experiments they did on him.
Yeah, made him radioactive. So, but what if that is one of the things that came out with the V? You get Luke and Sam. So there were 3 kids. They keep saying Vaught only had a son. Vaught made a son. Vaught made a son. We know that was Homelander. Right? But what if they made 2 more and didn't tell anybody and didn't even tell Edgar?
Yeah.
Tell Stan Edgar.
Okay.
It's a possibility. Or these could be just regular kids whose parents were like, yo, we broke. We need $50,000.
I think they're regular kids whose parents wanted them to
take the money.
Special.
Yeah. Take the money. Well, and, the parents didn't know. I don't think the parents really knew. Because part of the show, The Boys Universe, right, Boys Season 3, the reveal is that, like, these aren't chosen by God. They're not naturally born. Their parents... were paid by Vaught to put this chemical in. I don't know if the parents knew that that's what the chemical was doing, or if the parents were told that, like, oh, this chemical might help bring out the powers naturally inside of your child, because they had to have been told something.
Yeah, you're right. And if they were told, like, hey, no Supes are born, like that rumor would have
gotten out too fast. Too many people for a conspiracy.
But you know what? When Starlight confronts her mom and the boys right after she finds out, she says, like, you push this narrative that I was chosen by God, and she says, you were.
Right.
God brought Vaught into our lives. and they like said, and then I think she even says, like, was the money worth it? And she's like, well, I didn't get paid anything. They just, like, made you special. And then, like,
you got to get the cash up front before you inject your kid with something from the government.
But also, Vaught was making superhumans to have their own army.
Right.
That was Vaught's whole purpose.
I don't know if it was the purpose from the very beginning, but
well, we know they were Nazis from the beginning.
Well, yeah, the very beginning.
Yeah,
the very beginning
was to eliminate.
That's the thing. I think originally they just wanted a master race,
right?
But
that's what I'm saying. It's own army.
Once they got. Like, once they realized, like, oh, money is in war is when, because I think it's all, they were figuring it out as they went along.
It's also late stage capitalism. They're already running entertainment, they're running all these other industries. They need to get into the military industrial complex.
I'm smart.
Gina's smart.
He's smart.
That's her superpower.
I'm a Gen Z. I'm smart.
Oh boy.
Well, we can
turning off all of our Gen Z.
Yeah, we turned them all off real quick. That was it. They're gone.
One other thing I really like about this show is the way that they're using these teens, young adults' powers as kind of like a manifestation of, like, real issues a lot of teens are going through, right? You have Emma, who's obviously dealing with, like, purging and, eating and, like, counting her calories to the minute detail. You have the conversation she has with Marie where she's like, Marie's telling her, you can't keep, like, doing this to yourself. She's like, you cut yourself.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's my power. Cutting myself is my power, which I think a lot of people identify with. Like, when you have something like that, like, that's the one means of control you have is, like, hurting yourself. That's tough. You have Jordan, who's dealing with gender identity issues, a parent who's like, you can choose to be a man.
You can go ahead and say being a boy.
You have Claire, right, who's, like, dealing with the way I see Claire's powers as like a real issue is like she's this beautiful woman who no one can say no to, right?
I see her as like an influencer type.
Yeah.
Because like I think like there are a lot of influencers who are like telling their followers what to do, and they have this huge following, and they're doing everything they say. They're buying the latest hip mascara, but like their lives are suffering because of it. They have to deal with all the negativity that comes
people
from it.
might do something you say and it causes them harm, right?
Yeah, and she's like every time she uses her power too much,
Speaking of which,
is bursting
the
some
one
blood
dude she
vessels.
tells him to hit himself in the nuts
Jumanji.
and say
Love
Jumanji, and he was still hitting himself in the nuts.
And I think there's an episode further on in the season titled Jumanji, and it makes me worry that this is
Hell yeah.
going on
no.
for a while.
Well, that actor
He
is an
deserved it.
Eric Kripke regular. He was a big role on Supernatural.
Okay, so yeah.
So the fact that he hasn't been in these first 3 episodes much, I think he at some point they've got to feature him a little bit more.
He's the blonde dude from the intro video.
Yes.
Yes. And then at some point he's like wearing basically a MAGA cap.
Yeah, which
So-
we're introduced in season 3 of The Boys.
I want to bring this.
Yeah.
I want to bring this up real quick. We talk about the body image issues, the things that teenagers go through. I'm gonna play devil's advocate
Do it.
because I know. Here's why. This is nothing bad because I'm a parent of a teenager who's in the second year of college. What I know is what's going to be the online response. You finna have a bunch of people on the internet. Oh my God, here they go pushing this agenda and blah 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is, for those who are going to get upset, this is real life for real kids.
Yeah.
It is just brought into a superhero show. That's why I said I want to play devil's advocate because you are going to have. I have a son who has dealt with depression and things like that. I know parents who have kids who are dealing with gender identity, who are dealing with cutting, purging, et cetera, et cetera. It is just brought to this show. So a lot of people, I hate the fact there are going to be people who are like, see, look at them trying to push something with
Yeah,
this.
they'll call anything
Yeah.
like woke or.
I will say there's a section of the boys' audience that clearly
Doesn't get it.
missed the message
Yeah.
and doesn't get who the villain is. So like this show will obviously have that too, but I think anyone who gets the boys and what they're sort of lampooning will also understand this.
Right.
I hate the fact that people miss the message, excuse me, because it's like, y'all think Homelander and Vaught are really good guys. Homelander has been an asshole from the beginning.
Yeah.
From the beginning. And then you have now you have a kids generation, right? So now you can't, people go, well, you can't say it's corporate, but it technically still is. You know, we'll even get to Indira with her whole thing behind it.
Right.
You know, everybody plays a part, and it's just, it mimics real life to an extent, but it's just superhero element is just one thing up under it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is a world where, you know, just before this series begins, the end of season 3 of The Boys, Homelander murders a man on live television, and the world doesn't flinch. They're just kind of like, wow, okay.
I mean,
and like, there's Chirons in this series saying like he might go to trial, and it's
Yeah.
like might.
The pilot episode ended with him murdering a plane
With a
full of
kid on
people
it,
with
yeah.
a kid on it and being like,
So
good for me. So anyone who like really missed that message is
Yeah.
not,
I'm so sorry.
not a good person.
When
I'm gonna say.
May was like, yo, you can fly them down and come back. He was like,
Oh, that's a different time. This is in the pilot
Yeah, in
episode.
the Oh, yeah, the
He, like,
pilot
episode, yeah.
assassinates
Yeah,
a dude, and
yeah, when
it's
he
like,
assassinates,
and
yeah.
like waves at his son, like he's like, "Hey there, little
Yeah,
kid,"
yeah.
and then the kid's like, "Yay, Homelander!"
Crazy.
Dead.
Crazy. Well, we have lots more to talk about with Gen V, but first we want to thank our sponsor this week. And I want to thank eFavor Mart. We threw a party this week. We had a ton of fun celebrating the upcoming Ahsoka finale. We couldn't have done it without our good friends at eFavor Mart who helped deck out the set. Look, we still have this little ball left over from the party.
Yay.
Look, I'm like a weatherman. Oh, there it is. It's lighting up in different colors.
What weather do you think that is?
That's snow.
Okay.
We got snow. We got snow in the forecast. eFavor Mart has everything you need to throw a professional-looking party. I'm tired of these amateur-ass parties. They're perfectly tailored to whatever theme you want. They have balloons and table linen, sure, that's boring. But they also have a huge statement pieces like a balloon floral arch. Can you imagine? Unique backdrops, champagne stands. You don't have to put champagne in it, but a stand of any liquid you want.
Don't tell me what to do.
Any you could be.
let me live my life, Brandon.
I prefer a Fresca stand. All that delicious grapefruit flavored soda. There are over 10,000 products to choose from and order ship within 24 hours. For our party, we got balloons, an awesome galaxy projector, and some LED net lights that made the set feel super Star Wars. You go back and check it out if you didn't see it already. If you want to take your parties to the next level and support our network, are you making fun of my hands?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I have hands. If you want to take your parties to the next level and support our network, click the link in the description and use code The Breakroom for 15% off your first order. We also want to remind you to check out our awesome Star Wars shirts over at nerdriot.shop. Look, I know you're sick of me pushing these Star Wars shirts on. You want to keep doing it. Look at that. Oh, sportsy.
I like that one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at
I
this
like that one.
one.
I read that one on stage yesterday.
Yeah, you know
This
these two
one? Or
characters.
that one?
Booyah.
No, that one, the Ahsoka.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah.
What about this one? The Tython Lightsiders. Yeah, we have these like sports themed Star Wars shirts and some celebrating Ahsoka, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I call this one, even though that's not what it says. It's fun. But we're gonna have some awesome new Loki shirts coming very shortly,
I
so
can't
keep an eye
wait.
out for that. Go to nerdriot.shop and check out all of our merch options and support the new Rockstars network. All right, I want to talk about the woods. The woods. What do we think what do we think the purpose of the woods is?
I got a
exactly?
theory.
Okay.
I bet it's wrong.
It might be.
Yeah.
Thank you, Gina, for
I've
making me
got,
feel bad.
She's already shooting down your theory.
I've also got a theory. Maybe yours is
I
the
think you're both
exact
wrong.
same theory as mine.
Mine is okay. Let's see.
Okay.
Mine is they're trying to make a 7 they can control.
Oh, they're trying to make like
Okay.
all the different powers kind
And
of
a
thing?
set that they can control actually, because
Okay.
the 7 that they have, even with the members that have been in and out from Translucent, Lamplighter, have all been reckless.
Right.
Yeah.
Every single member of the 7 has been reckless.
And Homelander was their big attempt
Was
to
their-
make one they can control.
And-
What's
Right.
they're doing like a Ryan Reynolds,
Yes.
like where at the end he like has his his
Which
mouth
Ryan-
is sewn shut. And
the
he's
Wolf
got the,
X-Men
Oh,
or
like,
just Wolverine?
I was like,
that
the
version of
greatest all the
Deadpool.
superhero movies.
Don't do this.
X-Men Origins
Don't do this. I'll walk off the
Wolverine.
set. Don't do this.
Listen, we've
I'll
already
walk
had
off the set.
I thought we were talking-
I will walk that
I thought we were
hell out of
talking
that.
Blade
I ain't got-
Trinity.
Silver
That's why I was
Fox
confused.
I'll walk through the wall if you bring up Blade Trinity.
No, here's the thing. I will say this: if you've already watched Gen V, go back and rewatch it. There are so many, like beyond just the concept of the show, it clearly being like a Professor X, Xavier.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
There are so many X-Men Easter eggs.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
references.
Absolutely.
We're gonna have a breakdown.
Right. Oh yeah, check out the
Check
breakdown.
out the
if you haven't
breakdown.
already.
A lot
I think
of
it came
X-Men
out.
references.
It came out on Friday, so check out the breakdown of the
So
first 2
I
episodes.
kind of like this theory because they might be like, we need a Ryan Reynolds in the greatest movie ever told.
Green Lantern?
The Atom Project. But yeah.
R.I.P.D.?
Dang, dude. That one with Sandra Bullock?
It's a deep cut.
Yeah, the Woods is like yet another fucked up facility in the world of the boys, right?
Yeah.
Also run by Vaught. Vaught runs Sage Grove, which we see in this series, and has come up on the boys before. That's where Lamplighter went. We saw
Yeah.
Love Sausage in there.
Yeah. He makes a little cameo.
So that
here.
sequence-
No, he doesn't make cameo. The sauce.
Part of him does. I think they're
Was he still
perfecting-
Smokey from Hero Gasm? Is that why
I
there was
went
like
there.
smoke in the room?
The salt.
I think they're perfecting, what is it, V24 or something?
V24 was the thing that could make anyone a superhero.
Yeah, like I think that's what they're trying to do because that's like we know that's
Right.
highly unstable. It's making people get like terminal, but I think that that would make them just endless amounts of money. That's
Yeah.
the only thing
Right.
that they haven't conquered yet. Like is that they I think they want to highly control it. But if they could give average people superpowers, even just for a little while.
Well, yeah, because V24 runs out. That way you have superpowers, but then they expire. So unless
or
they keep injecting you.
even give it to them for a day, but
Right.
like have it not cause cancer or
Yeah,
whatever,
that's it.
whatever it's doing.
Not to put holes in your
Yeah, yeah.
brain.
Yeah, but they're clearly like giving him some sort of spinal tap or something, and
Yeah.
obviously his spine is hard to break into because
Right.
they use a mallet and
And-
it's
And there's
gross.
a
Oh, yeah,
wig
it's just-
for it. Like, okay, here's the deal. If you're going to run a secret facility doing these tests, put them to sleep at least. You don't have to torture
I
them.
think it's not easy to put them to sleep. I think
They gassed him when they caught Sam.
Yeah,
They
but,
gassed
like,
him.
Yeah, okay.
They probably gassed him the same way they figured out how to gas Soldier Boy.
Yeah. They
Because I bet,
probably-
like,
yeah.
when they got all that shit from the Russians, they're like, well, we're going to use some of this.
Yeah, of course.
Famously, that's been done throughout history.
Yeah, we won't
there have
mention
been
when.
people who have done messed up experiences, and other governments have come in and said, you shouldn't have done this experiment, but we were going to take
Gonna
this
just-
data
Yeah,
and apply it going
take
forward.
This data and maybe this scientist
Yeah.
too.
All right.
We saw like the Red River Institute in this. That's where
Uh-huh.
Marie was.
Yeah.
We've seen that in the boys. Interestingly enough, like the Red River Institute was started in 1965. Godolphin University was started in 1965. These things rolled out at the same time. It's like Vaught had this whole plan. They have the Elmira Adult Rehabilitation Center.
Elmira.
Elmira?
I'm gonna think Elmira from Tiny Toon
Tiny
Adventures.
Toon.
Oh,
That's
Elmira.
where my mind
I like
went,
Elmira.
too.
Elmira Adult Rehabilitation Center. That's where we saw that girl get thrown into the truck in the first episode.
Yeah.
Marie sees that, and like the woman who runs the Red River Institute's like, you do not want to go there.
Yeah,
like this place is bad, but you do not want to go there.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. You have these adults who you can't control.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do with them? You're gonna lock them away. That's another Vaught
there's got to be a
facility.
jail for Supes.
Right. Like Vaught, very smartly, they create the superhero problem and you create the superhero solution at the same time. Because that center is it's a global wellness service, which is a Vaught company, which is where like Termite went for drug rehab.
Here's a question: is there a solution? Because again, Homelander is a problem.
Right.
No, there's not a solution. That's why they were protecting Butcher's wife and that kid, because they were clearly like, this kid might be the only way to kill Homelander.
Right.
We got to raise him up to kill him, basically.
Yeah, because we saw, I mean, like maybe Soldier Boy could have done it, but then you were gonna have a bigger problem on your hand. Maeve was like training for a year to try and take him down.
To lose a whole eye.
But no, it's like you can't. There's no. You can't just like inject them with something to take away their powers.
Right.
So I would wager that they're trying to figure out how to do that. They're trying to get some sort of, I mean, in X-Men it is like a quote unquote cure.
Yeah.
So
think about this. Let's go to A-Train. What was his biggest issue? His heart was going down.
Sure.
His ability from Compound V was to run fast.
Yeah.
But it was messing up his heart.
no, it was the Compound V that was
The V was messing up his heart.
Because he was abusing it as a drug.
Because he was getting slower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was
But he
almost
might have
like,
still had this problem eventually, right?
Yeah, he was having it eventually.
Yeah.
So it's like it dies out eventually.
I don't know if it I think he would still be a really fast 80-year-old man.
Yeah, but not the way he wanted to be.
He knew he wouldn't be in the 7 if he wasn't number 1.
That's true.
So
Because he knew Shockwave was going to take his spot. But you have these things like, look, Homelander can't see through zinc.
Yeah.
But like, there's no such thing. Like, what's the boy's equivalent of kryptonite?
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point.
It was Soldier Boy, if they can find a way to get that.
And it was
power
only
out.
Soldier Boy because they realized he can burn the V out of you.
Right.
That was the only
yeah.
reason.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're all stumbling onto like kind of what the Woods probably is trying to do is like they don't have control over how powers manifest. If they had that, Vaught would have everything they want. Like if they know like, hey, we can give someone specifically flight and laser eyes. Like that's what they want to do. And now it's just like a gamble, and that's part of their deal. It's like they have to spread it out everywhere to see what manifests, and then like kind of promote those people to the positions that they need them.
Well, we do know like from promos and everything that Jensen Ackles is gonna appear on this show. We don't know if it's gonna be in a flashback. We don't know if it's gonna be in a video. But
he's gonna be a student of God. Guarantee he's
going
gonna
back to school.
He's gonna be an old student. He's gonna be like, hey, I'm Ben.
Like
Rodney
Tommy
Dangerfield.
Boy
Yeah.
Wait, not Tommy Boy. What is it?
Van Wilder.
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison.
Yeah.
It's Homelander just being like, I gotta go back to kindergarten and go all the way up.
Gotta relearn these ethics. I gotta deal with those coloreds now. What?
Oh no!
Because Soldier Boy is just as racist as Homelander.
He was born in 1919. It's a different time.
Time? Oh no, Brandon!
It's a different time.
Brandon!
Okay. Here's a question for you folks. What's Polarity's role in all of this?
That's a good question.
What does he have to gain? He's on the board. Is that what the board of trustees
he really
or whatever?
Wants his
He
son
knows
to be
about the
number
woods.
one. He knows about
He
the
knows
woods.
about the
but,
woods.
And is terrified. Because
So Andre,
when Andre's like, hey, we're in the woods, he's like, you shut the fuck
fuck up.
You do know.
He was like, who did you tell?
Hug me.
Who did you-
Yeah. So he knows something. I think he's another sort of Vaught puppet that doesn't really have any power, because if he did, like Marie now is like the number one star, and he can't really do anything about it. So I think he's a puppet. He's another sort of like A-Train, where it's like, hey, this guy is like, A-Train by far has the most endorsements of any Supe. Like everything, he's got the energy drink. Every place you go, Maeve has a lot too.
She's got the line of vegan frozen foods we saw. A quick snippet of it in the first episode.
It's great. And she's got little granola bars.
She's got a whole section of the theme park devoted to her.
Yeah, I want to eat some food. Some superhero.
You can't have any Vaught food. No Vaught food.
No Vaught food for you.
It's part of Polarity's deal that like he knows how messed up Vaught is, and he's like, well, I'm gonna stay as much on the inside as I can.
Yeah, I think it is.
I think
myself safe.
He's addicted to power.
That too.
Yep.
He's jealous. He's probably jealous of A-Train, right? Like he didn't get to be on the 7.
Yeah,
right?
He sure didn't.
We also like we are sort of assuming.
And he's probably older than A-Train, I would bet.
Yeah, you could look at him and say.
Yeah.
We're also like assuming that he has the exact same powers of his son, but I don't know if they ever like explicitly say that. I do think he says like a chip off the old block.
Right,
like, he's implying it, but
and the
we
name
haven't seen
Polarity.
him use his...
Polarity, it sounds like
Reverse the polarity.
It sounds like Polaris, who was Magneto's daughter.
Child, yeah.
It feels very similar. I think it is the same kind of power.
But his has probably died out because again, he's a retired suit.
Yeah. I wonder if he can't do it anymore.
I don't think that's how it works. I think I think like as you get older, you just like it's not you're still super.
You just want to be like, you know what? Just put me in a suit, put me on the board, and just.
That's
chill.
something like you tell your grandparents.
I know.
Like, hey, I know you're older. You're still super, Grandpa.
Hey, Grandpa, you're 97. Can you open this bottle? Well, back in my day, I
keep ripping the catheter out with my metal powers.
Elaine!
Oh God!
Get the bedpan, Elaine.
Get that little girl in here to put the catheter back in.
By the way, if this guy looks familiar, it's because he was in Save
the Last
I can't believe you called that out. Oh my
I was
gosh.
like, because I was watching like a scene and I was like, where do I know this
Sean
guy
Patrick
from?
Scott.
Where do I know this guy from? And then I looked him up and I was like, oh shit, because I watched that movie 8 billion times.
Who hurt
8
you?
billion, jeez Louise.
Who
I love
hurt
it.
you?
I love it.
We know from promos of like the rest of the scene, they showed a little promo package at the end of the first episode, cute little thing from our good friend Ashley. We know from promos that it looks like Sam and Emma get out of the woods and are back in school. There's like a shot of like Sam sliding down a hallway in a very college movie, which could be a fantasy, but I wouldn't predict that they both stay in the woods for the rest of the season.
No.
How do we think they get out? Because Sam is supposed to be dead. Like,
yeah, I mean that is an interesting question because he's also like apparently schizophrenic.
Right.
So,
yes.
like
and super strong.
Yeah. I mean maybe they just like fake his identity. Like maybe they. I mean we know they say that he's even stronger than Golden Boy. So I would bet that between the two of them they could fight their way out. I mean she just crawled through a dude's brain.
Right.
Maybe he can like fight his way out.
But this is
and
like
you got to put on shoes, and literally because the floor is electric, so if he puts on like electric those boots, those are already he's insulated.
Oh, like he takes the dude's
boots. Yeah, he takes the dude's boots or his uniform.
He's gonna Andor it.
This is kind of like the Harry Potter problem, where like you have like this shit going down at school, everyone's dying, and it's like, well, I'm still gonna go back to class.
Yeah,
like, why would you
get my education?
Well, it seems like in the world of Vaught, people are dying all the time, and they're
true.
just like, shush.
It is true. It is like a very kind of like Tarantino-esque thing, where it's like in a world of hyper-violence, people are desensitized to it.
Yeah. They gotta go and they gotta go take Chem 101 or whatever college classes are these days.
Like I still gotta get my degree.
I gotta do scene study. So
it's all scene study and how to market yourself. I think he probably shows up and Emma's like, this is my cousin, Bob Josephson McMichael.
But Claire knows who he is.
Yeah,
maybe
I don't
Andre
think
knows.
she's gonna rat him out. I think she's just like, can I enroll this dude in college?
Because Claire knew he was, because Claire knows some things too.
Claire saw. We saw a flashback at the beginning of the third episode where Claire went with Luke to see Sam, and Claire put him to sleep.
Right.
Yeah.
And like Andre and Marie realized that they helped catch Sam. They didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
there was a kid running around on campus.
So
there's a lot of guilt going around on everyone's behalf.
But that brings up the death around and everything brings up the next person you're about to bring up with Indira.
Yeah, let's talk about Indira, who's the dean of the school. She quickly is like getting very close to Marie. And she also mentioned she had a daughter who died.
Her daughter died of V.
Died of V?
I was wondering that.
Oh, I was gonna say I bet her daughter like got in the crossfire of some soup, and then that's why she like claims she devoted her life to sort of like psychoanalyzing them.
I wonder if like her daughter. I mean, a big theme on this show is like children killing either their parents or their siblings. She had a daughter, and like this daughter either killed her husband or killed someone, and her daughter is like currently in the woods and is not dead.
Maybe.
But she's like, I had a daughter, but I don't see her as a daughter anymore.
So why would she use? So would Marie be that replacement for her?
No, I think she's purely using Marie. I think everyone in the Vaught world is desperately trying to hold on to their position.
Of course, I agree with that.
And I think like she also, because you can tell when Ashley is like, like take me off speakerphone, that she's like nervous to tell her. She
Right.
wants her power. She wants her money. Vaught pays pretty well. I bet they have a good benefits package.
Oh man, that 401k is.
I bet they have
Yeah.
I bet they have a spa you can use whenever you want.
It's like you go work at Facebook, get your bag, and get out after a couple of years.
Yeah, there's a whole plot point on the G.I. Joe cartoon of the 80s that Cobra had a great like benefits package.
Oh, good for them.
Cobra has health, dental, everything.
Underground spa for all their.
You might die, but
Yeah.
Well, and also as we talked about this too, I'm realizing Golden Boy, right? He was being fast tracked to the 7. He wasn't even have to go through the draft,
Yeah.
right? And he was close to Brink. He was not close to Indira.
Yeah.
And I wonder if Indira saw that going down and realized, oh, now that Brink's out of the picture, I can be close to the number one.
Brink.
I can, I can have a close relationship with the number one, and that will benefit me in a very good way.
I think it's purely like she's like, Vaught right now wants Marie to be number one. I'm gonna be her friend because if I can control her, then I can sort of get a little bit of power for Vaught.
But remember, if Vaught wants her to be number one for one reason alone. We don't condone racism.
That's right.
And
that's right.
You think I'm joking?
She would be the first black
She
woman.
would be the first
on the
black
7.
woman in the 7.
I mean, the thing is, they still need a new Homelander. That was the whole reason they were picking Golden Boy is because like
He was a new Homelander.
They needed someone white, they needed someone invulnerable, and they needed someone who with like
saw
those,
his
like
suit.
movie star good looks.
Yeah.
They were clearly setting him up because like look at all the other white dudes in like Translucent's dead.
The Deep is a rapist.
The Deep is like still banished or whatever.
He's back in the 7.
Yeah. Oh.
Remember, he's back in the 7.
He joined that like
reality show.
Scientology cult
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
And
then him
like,
and A-Train
had
kind of
sham
worked a little deal to
marriage.
get back in.
Yeah,
because when the octopus got in the,
but he's
when the
never
bottles-
going to be like the face
He
of
never
Vaught.
is,
They
yeah.
need
No.
a literal golden boy.
Yeah.
And now that they don't have one, Ashley is like, I don't know, put the 2 black people in it and like let us get our awards. Like she literally says that at some point.
Right.
But clearly that's not going to last long at Vaught.
No, clearly not.
They need, which maybe Sam will. Maybe they'll be like, if we can control his schizophrenia, maybe he'll be the new.
Maybe if we keep jamming a spike into his spine, we can get control of him.
Again, you take his spinal fluid to figure out how he works.
Right. Here's the most important question. How did Golden Boy get the phone inside of the statue of Polarity?
This is not the most important question.
This is the most important question of the episode.
He can melt stuff. He smelted down
Okay.
that ass metal
The ass.
So you're
metal?
saying...
and then put the phone inside the ass statue.
Because here's what I'm saying.
Why
when-
the ass though?
Because it's like Andre grabs it out of the crotch.
Right, and the crotch looks unvarnished.
Yeah,
Right?
it looks
I think
unvarnished.
you could
Splits
do
it
that
open.
with metal. I think he took his little smelting tools and he was like metal.
Tools?
You think he
And
warmed up
then,
his
like,
hand?
He's got a little
He just
spackle. A little spackle. Yeah.
You think he-
Yeah.
He knows exactly how to control his heat
Yeah,
level.
someone walked by in the background and was like, he's doing something to his penis, and I don't want to know what it is.
He's got a fetish. We're
I'm
gonna
gonna avert my eyes.
we're gonna let Luke live with this one because this is what he does. Okay?
I'm also glad that riddle didn't last like the whole season. Like, what does he mean? My father has it. Like, he figures it out pretty quickly,
He was
which
like,
is nice.
It's in
Which
my
is
dad's
nice.
crotch.
It's in his crotch. How Oedipal. How Oedipal. How do we think? Obviously, the show's already connected to the boys, but do you think like the stuff that's happening in the woods is going to play a part in season 4? They say the show takes place in between season 3 and 4, leading into 4.
Yeah.
Is this series going to matter a lot to 4? Will we see one of the students like
I think so.
matriculate to the 7?
I think it'll be lightly crossed over, but I know that Amazon is not going to want to put all their eggs in the basket of everyone is going to watch Gen V and know exactly what it is. So I think that they're going to keep it separate enough so that if you didn't watch Gen V, Boys is still going to be its own thing. But like have a couple of cameos for the hardcore fans who watch both.
So I was just thinking about that. Like, it just tells you how they feel about certain characters. All right, so you're gonna get a Deep cameo, you're gonna get an A-Train cameo, you're gonna get a regular Ashley cameo, the director of Dawn of the 7.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's your. I don't think you'll get a Huey. I don't think you get a Butcher.
Yeah, maybe not. Butcher's like
You might get
terminally
Frenchie.
ill right
You
now.
might get Frenchie and Mother's and MM.
I mean, they've announced some cameos, right? We're not spoiling anything
Yeah.
like that. They've made that very clear. I wonder if there's ones they're purposely not announcing. Like, if Homelander shows up at the end,
Yeah.
Like that would be crazy.
It would be weird to like not have him be in it at all.
Right.
Because he's around. Like
He's such a he's the
what if he's a speaker
of-
at the graduation?
I think what's gonna happen is like we're gonna see a scene where it's like, you know, like he's got a hung jury or something. He's not convicted.
You mean he's hanging the jury?
Vaught
Oh,
does
boy.
like a
Oh, boy.
Vaught does
He's
like a
a murderer.
public apology and says like, well, you know, like he went through the due process, and they like either let him back in or they're like trying to figure out. But I think this season will end with it like there being a big announcement of like, hey, he was found not guilty.
And what if at the same time Stan Edgar is found not guilty?
That's right.
Because remember, Edgar has only just been charged right now, but he's got all the power at Vaught's disposal.
Right.
He's got because Ashley is now the CEO of Vaught.
Yeah.
It's not Homelander.
Right.
Yeah. But I think that, you know, it's possible that Vaught will just cut that Stan Edgar connection. They don't the only people they need are the Supes.
Yeah, the suits are replaceable, right? But
Yeah.
the soups are important.
But I think
Supes on USA.
I think this Suits on Netflix. I think the Suits, it depends on the Suits. I think it honestly depends on which ones, because Ashley has proven herself to be valuable.
Oh, they're all the fact that they so quickly replaced Stillwell, who actually was good at her job, with Ashley, who was ripping her hair out. Everyone is replaceable in that.
But also Stillwell, but she was getting older and she was trying to push back off what she was seeing, because remember she saw
was
Payback.
the only one who could control Homelander.
Yeah, because he was sucking titties.
I know, but whatever you gotta do, you gotta do.
He was sucking a good titty. Homelander was giving that good Karen milk. And so that there was keeping him on his vitamin K plan. And
you say that Stillwell could control Homelander, but who killed Stillwell?
Yeah, but that was like at a very, like up until, we all knew it was a tenuous relationship.
Sure.
But when she was like,
she did the best job.
Who wants to do this for Mama? He was like, I want to do it for Mama.
The man, Homelander got so bad he went to milking cows just to feel breath.
You know.
You can buy it online nowadays.
Cows?
Breast milk.
Oh, okay, great.
Breast milk, you make my day. Y'all don't know about that from Chappelle Show. Go ahead, let's keep going.
We're all excited to see where this series goes. I can't wait to watch more of this show. It's so great, so much fun. I'm so glad to have the boys universe back in my life.
Yes.
I think we got a lot of great stuff going on here. Here's what we're gonna do. Just like God U has its top 10, we're gonna give our number one ranking. Who's your number one Supe as of the last 3 episodes?
You start first.
Who do you rank number one? I'll tell you who I rank number one first. It's my girl Cricket, dude. Emma is getting things done. The poor girl, when she was so tiny, I felt so sad for her.
So tiny.
She's learned a lot. She's grown a lot, metaphorically and physically. And Jay and I were talking about this. They've shown that like she has to purge to get small. When her mom showed up, she was like, "You're not eating enough. You're like 2 inches short," or something like that. I think by the end of this series, she's gonna eat a lot, and we're gonna see a super tall
I would
Emma.
love it.
They have not done a big person
No.
yet on the boys. We haven't seen that power manifested.
Yeah,
I would love
love
to
it.
see that. Emma is my current number one right now. What about you, Gina?
I gotta go same. I just love her. The actress is so funny.
She's killing it.
Yeah.
She's so good. Just everything, like when she goes into like when she's like shrinking down and she's like going into this death mission that she has never done before. And she just goes, get it, got it, good.
She's
I'm
high as
so
hell.
high. I was like, God, that delivery is
Yeah.
great. She's like my favorite actor on the show right now. And I think she we're seeing some characters on the show be like, oh crap, I can do that with my power.
Right.
Sort of coming into their own, and I think she is gonna be the one that realizes she can do more than she thinks. Right now, she just thinks she can be in YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But all of us aspire to more, damn it.
Get us out of here, please.
Get us out of here! We don't want to be here!
Please don't hire me.
I love my job. I love it. I'm happy to be here.
I mean, I'm sure you two felt the same, but when Emma was in bed reading those comments, man, that was too real for me.
Yo, that was
too
real. Oh my
real
God,
for
that
me.
was the
Don't
real.
read the comments.
We're all
Emma.
Emma in that moment.
Don't read those comments.
Let me tell you something.
Just doom scrolling.
Let me
through
tell you
comments.
something. We've been told numerous times, for those of us that work in this space, just don't read the comments. But here's the problem. You always gonna read them because you're gonna be like, I just wonder what they think. And then you start seeing one, you're like, well, how many people? Oh, y'all hate me. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you just want me to okay.
The
I don't need to read that.
easiest way for me to get a tiny person to kick me in the balls is to just read those comments. Same thing.
Here's my next question about Emma real quick. Where the fuck did she get those small clothes from?
I think
I love them. They're doll
like
clothes.
Barbie clothes.
Yeah. They gotta be like cute little doll clothes. They're very
when she was really
stylish.
tiny, I think that was like a Polly Pocket style thing. Because
Okay.
it looked plastic,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
The buttons were like a little big. It
You get
looked
what I'm
like-
saying? 'Cause
Yeah,
I was
you can find tiny clothes a lot of
Yeah.
places.
Okay,
You
'cause
need
I was
tiny-
just
I can
wondering.
get you some tiny clothes. You need tiny clothes? I can get them for you.
I mean, you wear tiny clothes. Look how tiny you look next to the two of us. If you do look at Emma's room, though, in their dorm room, you can see on the wall back there, she's got like a whole Barbie setup.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's
Like
what
a
it's for.
car
Okay.
and like a
she got
little thing.
Okay.
a little car. I
adorable.
love it
It's
to be a little
adorable.
So I have a
ride around
tie.
the
Okay, you got
little-
tie for
oh,
number one.
tie.
I have
Okay.
a tie for number
I don't know
one.
if we'll allow it.
Will you?
Okay, we will.
Will you?
We will.
Emma's number one.
Okay, hell yeah. Emma's killing it.
Emma's
Yeah,
number one
crush it.
for all the reasons you all said, but the one right behind Emma has to be Jordan.
Oh, Jordan is my number 2.
Has to be Jordan.
Jordan is my number 2 also.
Because I think when it's all said and done, I don't think Emma will be the number one student. I think it's gonna be Jordan.
I mean, Jordan was
Was the one woman up and down the boy's
who-
ass.
And the fact that Jordan did it so quickly, it
Yeah.
was like, just get out of here.
Yeah.
They were like, I got this. I can
Yeah.
take down and I think like Jordan was always if Brink was still alive, would have been number 1. Like that's the whole thing. And instead they fell to number 5, which is just
brutal stuff.
Ugh.
Also, can you imagine the dude that was having sex with Jordan was getting it, and then Jordan's parents knocking,
I love
and
it.
then Jordan turned back into the male persona, and dude just butt naked. This again, that fluidity. You said.
Yeah.
Dude was just
He
like, all right, I'm
didn't
gonna
care.
get up out of here and walk through this
It's
wall.
college,
real quick.
baby.
Yeah, he didn't
College.
care. He walked through some random walls.
Just because somebody in the other room was like, ah!
Saw his dong.
Yeah. You know, it's
care.
college.
The older boy's dick was out the whole time. You kept hearing about it. That's why they
I
gave
mean,
him a
Right.
suit.
listen,
They did
the
show it.
invisible RA is naked at all times too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they made it hot. They showed it while it was heated, while it was flaming. The flame on penis.
I appreciate the attention to detail. I wondered what happens to a penis for a superhero
Yeah,
to
yeah.
engulf themselves in flames.
Yeah, I like the
Do they
reality.
chuck it back inside of them for protection, or do they just let it fly?
I
Flame
like-
on, penis!
Catches on fire. Do you think he has pubic hair? Would the fire burn off his pubic hair?
Oh, it totally
Because
would.
his head doesn't get engulfed in flames.
But although, like, in Game of Thrones, the Mother of Dragons still has, like, her luxurious
Yeah, but that's
locks.
magic. Magic's different. This
know.
isn't magic. This is science, Gina. Gina, this is science.
But he still has head
But his
hair.
face doesn't catch on fire. His head doesn't catch on fire. It's just
I
like his
don't know.
body.
Maybe he likes to burn it off. If I
Maybe.
had super flame powers, I'd be like, skip the waxing salon, just fucking
yeah.
burn it right
Yeah, but
off.
who's gonna go down on a college student where their area looked like uncooked chicken thighs? Now, because that's what it looked like without hair. Just
There's people out there that will do it, Jay. Not me, but there's people out there that will
we're out
do
here
it.
licking the poultry section. Anyway,
They're going to kick us off of YouTube. Please! Get me out of here!
Always cook your vagina to 180 degree internal temperature before you lick it, or you might get sick.
No, you just want to keep some hair, at least, because stubble feel like a cactus, okay? You know, you don't want to just have it prickles in
This
your
was supposed to be a serious show, Jay. A serious show.
I'm sorry.
Scientifically based, serious show.
Vagina piccata.
Cordon ew.
It's raw! It's raw! It's raw! It's raw!
It's fucking raw!
It's fucking raw! Yes, chef. Yes.
So, Jay's number 1 is a tie between Emma and Jordan, and frankly, Jordan could be number 1 for that jacket alone. What a good jacket!
Oh,
Yeah, the jacket's dope.
I was
But
like,
Emma's got that cute
protect
little white
the jacket,
too.
protect the
Emma's got a
jacket
cute
at
little
all
white
costs.
jacket.
Yeah.
A lot of good jackets on the show. Watch it for the jacket.
Watch it for
It's a
the
good jacket budget in the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that's it for us today. We had a lot of fun here. Make sure to subscribe to the Breakroom channel here on YouTube and give us a follow on Twitch where we do live presentations every day at 3 p.m. For more videos like this.
Maybe 305.
Maybe 305 sometimes. And again, if you want us to cover this show more, let us know in the comments what great conversation we had today.
not gonna watch this.
Where can they find you on socials, Jay?
Mr. J. Washington, M-R-J-A-Y. You should know how to spell Washington. You really should.
It's also how to
Washington.
spell J, though,
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
fair.
Some
any-
people just put the letter. I'm like, it's J-A-Y. Like, that's a thing.
What about you, Gina? Can they follow you on socials anywhere?
Sure, I'm at Gina Ippy. My DMs are closed.
Oh, good. That's smart. That's smart.
Damn it, I had some stuff I was finna send you. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to just show it to you in person. Here, check this.
That's why I keep getting random texts.
We got to get out of here, folks. We had a great time today. Again, let us know if you want us to keep covering Gen V, because we're going to keep watching it. We'll catch you next time. Latest Gators. Goodbye.